What is up? Man, we made it back today. You already know what I'm hit y'all with. Did Jesus come back today? Aw, damn. Y'all niggas been praying and singing in the choir and reading your Sunday school lesson, and the anti-black racism is still going on. Shout out to everybody out there if you're at the Court Plantation or you just at the house chilling, getting ready to watch the Rams, taking the Rams to the Super Bowl type shit. If that's what you're doing, shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody out there. Let me name them. Tasha, Tamisha, Mariah, Erica, Shawnee. Hey, look, man, my family didn't win bowling. Look, that's how you know a nigga getting old. One of my sisters was like, hey, man, we going bowling. Me and, my cousins and shit, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Look, this shit is funny. I'm like, cool, what time? Oh, we going around 12? 12? Shit, I'm going to be in the bed. Nigga, that's past my bedtime. That's how you know a nigga getting old. See, that's what the Court Plantation do to a nigga. Make it where you can't even go out and hang out with your people. I'm going to try to go the next time, though. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because, y'all niggas think I'm funny. My family's funny. Them the real funny people. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody out there. Hey, what's going on, Tommy? I see you look good today. The Saint LA Rams. We gonna talk about it today, man. We gonna talk about a lot of shit. We are definitely going to talk about better thinking. We gonna talk about Joe Rogan. We definitely gonna talk about LA Rams. All the shit that's going on in California today. I bet you it is a whole aces out there in LA. God damn, there's probably bitches everywhere. In the alley. I'm pretty sure it's bitches in the sewer. On Skid Row and everywhere. Boy, it's picking a litter out there right now. I need to be out there in LA. No, I'm just fucking with y'all. Shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation. If you are making it do what it do, I got nothing but respect for you. Shout out to everybody out there that's handling business and doing what they need to do to survive. We are definitely going to talk about pride. We're definitely going to talk about what you should have pride in and the things that you should leave alone so you can handle business, move forward. And we're definitely going to talk about better thinking and what we need to do for this year coming up, the rest of the year, and for the years to come in the future. Let's get into it. Hey. Don't get me to singing this, motherfucker. Yeah. got this shit down. Oh, man. Shout out to Screwhead, 066, all of them, man. You already know what it is, man. Man. Man, there's so much shit going on today. You know, and not just shit going on. It's just things that I wanted to discuss. It's funny, too, man, because, you know, the Super Bowl is the time where they make good money for them. You know what I mean? It's just so funny that it just happens to be during, you know, Black History Month. And y'all notice I have not really brung up Black History Month because I feel like Black History Month should be every month. We built the country for free with no repayment. So why the fuck don't carve out 1 month for us, motherfucker. Carve it out for the motherfucking other racial groups. Fuck out here with the bullshit. We invented the air conditioner. We invented the stoplight, the ironing board, the straight comb. What the fuck? The iron, refrigeration, all that shit. The first automobile. No, it was not no goddamn Henry Ford. He was responsible for mass production of the automobile. Motherfuckers need to start thinking and reading. That's another thing too. I'm gonna play some audio of Joe Rogan. How I already did a podcast on him. How he like, oh well, they're just bringing this up because this is a political attack. But that doesn't negate the fact that you was saying nigga every day, all day. And you got a black daughter. So that lets you know it's just like slave owners. Your overseers. The slave masters used to fuck black people all day long. That don't mean they had some type of regard for black people. That was just fantasy. They fetishizing niggas, but they don't give a fuck about no niggas. See, Joe Rogan's one of them type of motherfuckers. He wants to go against the grain, but he really wants to establish that I don't like black people. I'm just going against the grain. I'll talk with black people and laugh and joke with them, but I really don't like them. You know what I'm saying? And we had to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are black every day. That's another thing too. Is it me? Did Aaron Rodgers win the goddamn NFL MVP? Mr. Motherfucking, I've been immunized. I'm immunized or whatever. Immunized or some shit like that. And they like, well, did you take the shot? Like, well, I'm immunized. And then they like, well, did you take? Oh no, I didn't know what you mean, nigga. What? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. This is the type of shit. Look. That's another thing too. I'm not telling you don't watch the Super Bowl. I watch the Super Bowl for the antics and all the bullshit. There were a time where I didn't really watch football at all or any basketball. I was too busy at the court plantation. But I'm just a friendly reminder to everybody, it's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's not real. Your mind makes it real. These are not your teams. When they win, you get no money from it unless you go to the sports book and bet the over or the under. If you're not doing that, you're not making any money off that fucking football game. But I can tell you all the people that are invested in it, and there's a lot of stock invested on that football field. That's a $5 billion stadium. Oh, they gonna make their money back today. Oh, it's probably motherfuckers everywhere in LA. I would hate to be living in LA. For real. I hope they don't ever bring that shit to Vegas. If they do, I ain't going nowhere. Uber Eats, motherfucker. Fuck that. Like, why you at? Nah, man. That's open season for the stick-up kids. Shit, nigga. Motherfuckers, you know, I just think we got to do a better job of better thinking and assessment and discernment and understanding, you know what I'm saying, like who we are and how we are affected in the situation. That's why, you know, it's like you go to the court plantation job, they talking about black history and all that stuff. I'll be looking and laughing. I'm like, well, I don't need you to tell me about black history because I've done a little bit of my own research. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need you to validate my black history because I know we built the country for free. Don't you say I had to go get ready for work? Everybody do. Shit. Motherfuckers be acting like, you know what I'm saying? Look, I get it, man. It's a Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, get your taxes done. That's a fact. That's a motherfucking fact. You know what I mean? It's tax season, so you know there's going to be a lot of dealerships that done sold. Man, cars is expensive as a motherfucker. That's why we got to do, you know, better thinking, better education. Y'all always hear me talk about this all the time. I think it's up to us to teach us. We be expecting a dominant society, every other racial group, to hold our hand and teach us shit. They're not going to teach you anything. You got to do the research on your own. Like, that's what I've learned. They're not going to teach. They're going to teach you what they're supposed to teach you, and they're going to get the fuck out the way. That's why you always hear me talking about the econ class I had in high school. That motherfucking white man was like, basically, y'all niggas can't say I didn't tell you. So now 20-something, damn near 30 years later, I'm still thinking about Mr. Terry in the econ class and economics and how I didn't pay attention when it came to stocks and bonds and 401k. And that nigga was breaking down that shit. I remember it. Because the reason why you always hear me talk about it is because in this classroom, you had a chalkboard and a whiteboard. That's when whiteboards were starting to come into play in the 90s. and he didn't teach stock on the chalkboard. He didn't even use the chalkboard. He just used the whiteboard the whole time. And he had all these different writings and stock, and if you have 2 stocks and it's at $2 a share and the shares go up, like he had all these different pie charts of how the stock was broke down. I was like, and at the time it looked like math jargon to me, like mathematical jargon. Like it was some shit that you couldn't decode, you couldn't understand, but he was like super into that shit. And I know he was heavily invested in stock because that nigga had a fresh car. You know what I'm saying? That nigga wasn't never at school. And used to be using his vacation time all the fucking time. That nigga wasn't never at work. I mean, at school. He was just only there those times to like teach, you know what I'm saying? Teach the classes and then give you your semifinals or whatever, whatever test that you need to take. But I just noticed that he must have been heavily invested in stock because he used to always be talking about he going on vacation or he going to go play tennis. Like that motherfucker was never at work. He probably not even lying no more, but that motherfucker was breaking that shit down. But like I said, there's a disconnect there, so you can't really relate to that shit. I'm not saying that stock and bonds, 401k is the only thing, but I feel like if more black folk were educated in that and we knew about that, we would be heavily invested in that shit. And motherfuckers would be straight like this. If you invested in yourself when you turn 18, 19, and 20, and let's just say you just keep investing in yourself until let's say you 35. So let's say 15 years straight, you just dumping your money into your own IRA. You just dumping it. That's your bread. If you dumping $100 a month for 15 years, $100 a month, 12 months, that's $1,200. 1,200 times 15, that's your money that you just invested into yourself. Now, sometimes you can't, but there's a discipline behind that. That's why, you know what I'm saying? I said we got to use better thinking. And we got to understand, like, there ain't nothing wrong with the Super Bowl. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I just know that they going to push that agenda because they want everybody to kind of be on some other shit. That's why they had Jay-Z there, to bring these black acts there. Okay, Dr. Dre and them going to perform. Okay, cool. But then where do we go from there? Once that's done, what are we doing now? You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the times the dominant society is the masters of confusion, as Neely Fuller Jr. talks about in his book. They're the masters of confusion. So they know how to take things and put it in your place and then take something else and put it in there. Let's just talk about Joe Biden and them and the crack shit. They won't give out the crack pipes and all this other shit. Joe Biden knows that he has not done his job. Now you want to meet with Ice Cube. Now you want to talk about black vote because it's time for you to start rallying up the troops because black folk are not satisfied with what the fuck has been done. So now what they're going to do is give us another symbolic victory. They'll probably give us a Harriet Tubman Day or some bullshit. And then niggas gonna be jumping around for joy like, oh, Democrat. Then it's gonna be that shit. Then once they get your vote again, it's gonna go back to being like benign neglect. Fuck these niggas. We did what we supposed to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Even though the Asians got an Asian hate crime bill, but they're immigrants, and the majority of the motherfucking Asian people that's in the United States of America Incorporated, they're not foundational. They're not natives to this landmass, but they get a hate crime bill, and you have black police officers at college, you have just police officers, period, shooting black folk and killing them with impunity. You have suspected white supremacists chasing FedEx drivers down and shooting them on some vigilante shit. But you want to say that black people don't need a hate crime bill? That shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. But that's all right though. We got football though, right? You have to watch it in context too. You know what I'm saying? You have to watch it in context and understand exactly, in my personal opinion, you have to understand exactly that it's entertainment. It's not real. Even like basketball. What they do, they traded James Harden. I was like, niggas get so mad about that shit, but James Harden them got hundreds of millions of dollars. Nigga, and you don't. You got to get up and go to work. I remember LeBron said that when he was in Miami and they lost the championship to the Dallas Mavericks. And he was like, what do you think? He was just like, well, I'll still be rich and people have to go back to working and have a miserable life. Basically, nigga, I'm paid and you're not, and I don't give a fuck. And it's water off my back. I don't give a fuck because at the end of the day, I got bread. So that should let you know how motherfuckers with bread, they're thinking. They think they don't give a fuck whether they win or they lose. Nigga, they paid. And I think that's something that I feel like we need to have an understanding about too. You know what I mean? You look at all this bullshit. Oh, man. Then you got, I'm about to play this Joe Rogan shit. This is how cold the dominant society is. You know, the Democrats edited this video and they put it together. But here's the thing that I'm going to educate y'all before I play it. Y'all knew this motherfucker was like this the whole time. All of you white people knew this. Then you got India Ari saying something. Then they put the camera back in her. Oh, I don't think he's racist. Well, why the fuck did you say that then? See, because stop speaking out in that context. And then when they turn the mics on you, don't be like, well, I don't think he's racist. Well, yeah, he is. He's a suspected white supremacist. Why would you be saying, yeah, because nigger, and then nigger, and then nigger. You know what you're saying. And those people that is in charge of Spotify and all those other fucking white supremacists and suspected white supremacists, they know he was saying that shit the whole time. The Democratic Party knew he was saying it the whole time. They're just doing what's best for them. See, the Democrats is like, see, look, that's racist. And he's a right winger and he's racist. That's why you need to keep Joe Biden in office. I mean, fuck the Democrats too. So don't go for that okie doke either. Better thinking. Well, you can't be like, yeah, you know, that's why the Democrats are more racist than the goddamn Republicans. Because the fucking Republicans, at least they tell you blunt and up front, look, we don't really fuck with no niggas. Period. We don't fuck with these niggas. We gonna do as less as we possibly can for them. Where the Democrats is like, oh yeah, we love you, but behind closed doors, fuck these niggas. We ain't doing shit for them. We just need their vote. Which one is worse? So here, man, let me play this clown ass video of him talking about, oh, you know, making excuses and deviating from the point. That's what had me dying laughing. I was like, damn. Well, don't negate the fact you still said nigga a whole bunch of times. It's so funny. Dominant society people could say nigger all day long, but black folk can't even mention a Jewish person and he'll be suspended, taken off the air and everything. That's crazy. Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that? Whoopi Goldberg? I guess, man.
I was surprised.
Yeah, but I ain't playing all, motherfucking commercials. But yeah, man, when I kind of watched a little bit of the video, I'm like, dang, he just deflecting. Why you just don't say I apologize about saying that? You know, I was out of line. I shouldn't be saying that. Why you up here talking about, oh, it's the Democrats? That's deflection. That's white fragility. You acting like you ain't do nothing wrong. You know what you said was wrong. Because there's an inherent animosity towards black folk anyway. So he don't want to be bothered at all. Motherfucker just be pretending like they want to be bothered, but that's all right. Here we go.
Past host Joe Rogan going on the offensive. Rogan is dismissing the furor over his past use of a racial slur, and he's playing the victim card.
In a lot of ways, like, all this is a relief, because it's like, just because that video had always been out there. Right. It's like, this is a political hit.
See? So basically what Joe Rogan is saying is, I've been saying this. And nobody ever said nothing or called me out on it. And all of a sudden, a political party wants to air this video out there. So it really ain't even about me saying it. This is about political gain. Now, I do agree in terms of that. Yeah, you're right. The Democratic Party is using this to gain fame and gain favor, you know, so they can get black votes. But that does not neglect the fact that Joe Rogan, you're a suspected white supremacist. Now confirmed you are a white supremacist. And the Democratic Party is white supremacy too. So we just won't fuck with both of y'all. So you can make excuses and they can make excuses, but like Neely Fuller Jr. says, when you see two white people arguing, unless they're arguing about replacing the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice, that's just two slave masters arguing over who's the biggest slave master. That's all that is.
And so they're taking all this stuff that I've ever said that's wrong and smushing it all together. Right.
But you notice he never apologized. He never apologized. You never heard him say, hey, man, you know, I'm wrong for that. You know, I do, you know, I date, you know, I got a black stepdaughter and all this other stuff. See, the people don't know that. See, the bitch that he dating had a baby by the nigga from H-Town. So she's got a mixed daughter. But he don't want people to really know that because there's a inherent animosity towards that because they don't really like black people. If you had some type of respect for black people, that wouldn't even come out of your mouth. But I know you don't like black people. And you notice he gets in these circles around black folk that he know are not going to call him on a lot of his racist bullshit, like that Andrew or Andy Schultz or whatever. That type of shit, that type of rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, you get around, because you're not going to get around black folk that'll be like, that's you racist, bro. Like, nah, you know, because normally what the dominant society do is they deflect and be like, oh, I'm not racist. you know what, just because I said the word nigger, I'm racist. Well, there's power behind you saying that because you have all the resources and we don't. They'll be like, well, black people cannot be racist. Stop.
Good, because it makes me address some that I really wish wasn't out there.
Joining us now, CNN chief media correspondent Brian Stelter, who, of course, is also the host of Reliable Sources. What do you think of his going on the offense?
Well, almost everything these days is political. So, yes, there's a liberal group with ties to a Democratic super PAC that did help make this video of Rogan go viral last week. But the video is of Rogan. He's not claiming it was doctored. He really did use the N-word, not once or twice, but many times.
So basically, the Democratic Party put that shit together because it is voting season. They know it's coming up, and they know black people are dumb. And that's why I said the title of this is Better Thinking. And we'll be like, oh, he's racist. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got to keep Joe Biden in there. Watch when you're going to hear a whole bunch of black people come up telling you that shit. Man, that's why we got to keep Joe Biden in there and all that shit. Look, no matter who it is, unless they're trying to replace that system of racism and white supremacy and establish a system of justice, I don't give a fuck who the president is because they're not doing nothing for my people. Biden don't do shit for my people, and neither did the Republican Party do anything for my people. We have no dog in this fight at this point. Stop voting your emotion and vote who can do what's best for your people. Quid pro quo, something for something. Motherfuckers need to read Black Labor, White Wealth. That's some real shit. We're a permanent underclass. That's why all the other racial groups come here and they be talking shit about us. That's a fact because they know that's the program. Well, it doesn't matter if I come from a third world country and I was shitting in holes and I had no fresh running water. I'm going to get treated better than them black niggas are. So that's all that's important to us as immigrants. And that's how they feel. That's why immigrants are very arrogant. Like I said before, I done dealt with immigrant coons before, and they say some crazy shit. You be looking at them upside their head, and I be like, man, I just don't fuck with them at all. I just don't fuck with them because they have this mentality that they are somehow so much better than niggas, than foundational black Americans when they didn't build this country. And I am in total agreement. You're talking and this is Nigerian, it's this and it's that, and you know I'm from Cameroon and all this other stuff. Then why don't you take your ass back to where the fuck you came from? What you doing here? Because you didn't build this, so what you doing here?
Past. So he can look at the roots of this and say, well, they're trying to make noise about me because they don't like me politically. They're trying to take me out. But he also has to own the words he used. And to his credit, he does. He seems genuine about his apology. I don't
think his apology is genuine at all.
Have any reason to doubt that. I think he should recognize he's operating in an environment where he thinks there are no rules, no standards, nothing. But he's working for a giant company, Spotify, where there's incredible pressure on Spotify right now. Not from liberal critics, not from politicians, but from its own employees. That's the interesting part of the story to me. The employees are in revolt against Rogan, and we will find out if any subscribers are canceling as a result. So I would say this story is not over, not by a long shot.
So there you have it. That's the shit that's going on. I thought I'd just play that so you can know what the fuck is going on. Man, life is a motherfucker, man. We got to understand what it is. We have to understand where it is. We got to put ourselves in a position to win. We have to stop believing in Joe Biden and believing in the fairy tales and the motherfucking tooth fairy. No, stop believing in that shit. It's not real. It's falsified advertising. Stop. Some people are worse. Excuse me. Some people are worse. It's a show on Apple TV, right? It's called The Servant. And it's a crazy bitch on there who had a baby and then the baby died. So then they brung in some maid, and this maid switched the baby with a real baby, and then the mom is acting like this has been her baby the whole time. I'm like, what kind of nut crazy bullshit is this? But it's something that you watch because it gives you a perspective of how insane people will be and make everybody else crazy. Even the husband is like, that's not your baby. What the fuck are you doing? It's just crazy, man. And that's how a lot of people act. Like, we will be loyal to the Democratic Party to a fault. Joe Biden, all he got to do is smile with one nigga, and it'll be 100,000 niggas talking about vote for Democrat. Look at Kamala Harris. That bitch told you she was AKA and all this other shit, and got all these black bitches talking about AKA and all this other shit. What the fuck has Kamala Harris done for y'all niggas lately? You better be on some Janet Jackson shit. What have you done for me lately? Dun, 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 dun. Nigga, ooh, yeah, shit, fuck out of here. We treat politicians like this. All you gotta do is smile with me, and you got my vote. You don't hold nobody accountable. That's why you gotta have better thinking. Like I said, you watch the Super Bowl, but watch it in context, man. Keep it in context. No, it is entertainment. That's all it is. It's not real. It's entertainment. It's not meant to be real. Like, these people that are playing NFL and got all these big contracts, nigga, that ain't your money. That's their money. That's why I hate it when I always have to correct people when they be like, oh man, we just traded for such and such, and they need to trade for such and such. That's why a lot of my family, they know I'll talk sports on a base level, but I don't really give two fucks about sports that much as it is, because it ain't my money. And I can't do nothing with that money. I gotta go to the court plantation in the morning. So I'm not finna sit up here and be mad that a team lost or a team won. That was 15 years ago when I used to be thinking like that. I stopped thinking like that a long time ago. Cause I was like, man, fuck this shit, man. I'm broke. I need to come up with different avenues and revenues of streaming income. You know what I'm saying? And now here I am, sometimes you get to the point, sports and entertainment is so cold, they'll make it where you depressed that your team lost. Ain't that fucking crazy where you're depressed? Like, I can't believe my team lost. And you mad and you crying. Nigga, I don't give a fuck who win or lose. They both winners to me. What you mean, Warren? Because they both got money. And they both ain't got to get up and go to nobody's corporate plantation in the morning time. So why the fuck is you sitting up here mad? That's why I watch the goddamn NFL. Watch that shit, but keep it in context. Don't be like, oh, man, I can't believe we lost. The LA Rams, I can't believe we lost. Or, yes, we won. Yes, now you on a high because we won. Well, nigga, that ain't your team. That's why a lot of people don't like to talk sports with me, because I have no dog in that fight. Because guess what? While you up here being glued to this entertainment, the dominant society is changing the fucking social game rules. So they kids can fucking go to college. They don't give a fuck about you. And that's all I got to say, man. I'm out, man. I went over by 1 minute. I was doing good. Hey, man, look, y'all already know what it is. Enjoy your day. Shout out to No Compromise. Hey, man, we got to do, No Compromise, man. I'm getting something together. We got to do a Twitter space, too, man. So you can upload it to your page. I'll upload it to my page on YouTube. We got to start doing Twitter spaces. We got to start doing it, because I see a lot of people doing Twitter spaces, but, we have to have our own ideas and create our own stuff. So, man, I want to do a Twitter space. I'm about to try to get one correlated with two of my other homegirls and do a Twitter space with them as well, man, and start a Blow Noses podcast, because those are very, very important spaces, and I think people need to hear them. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribe. You already know what it is, man. Hey, if you know people that like this channel, send them this channel. If not, don't send it to them. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Hey, and if you up here talking about, well, the Democratic Party has done a lot for us, man, and you know what I'm saying, we just got to keep Joe Biden in office. You're a Sambo coon, telling about the gun line, Hayward Shepherd, Steve from Django, and I don't fuck with you. And in the great words, guilty, nigga, I'm out. Peace.
Beautiful.